You know, City Skylines is a game I've played quite a lot. I've built what I personally would consider 3 complete cities in it over time, but one of the things I've never done is made a beautiful city. I use the term beautiful. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm going to create a new city and I'm going to try and make it look good. And I have a theme in mind. I don't know which one's good. We need one with quite a lot of land for what I want. This one has minimal amount of water. River Run. I guess it's got a river. I think I've used that one before. I do need quite a lot of land, but that one will work. Lots of beaches doesn't work. Right. Cliffside Bay it is. Cliffside Bay, we're going to make an amazing thing. Tempted to turn on left-hand traffic. Trouble is, in my experience with this game, left-hand traffic actually makes the traffic worse. Because the implementation of left-hand traffic is just not as good as it should be, which is a shame. Hit start. Here we are. A beautiful blank canvas. And look, the bird is even here. Chirper. Can we turn off Chirper? Oh wait, we can make him look different. How fancy. Beautiful. Can we actually turn it off? I forget. A beautiful blank canvas which I intend to ruin. I'm very good at ruining this, so like I mentioned, I have a theme in mind, and the theme I have in mind for this city, to make it look beautiful as I described it, is crop circles. So the whole city, I want the whole city to look like a giant crop circle. Let us begin. To begin the crop circle, let's start with a regular roundabout. Bang. Right there. And then we're going to customize it significantly. We're going to have to start by leveling these as best I can, because these are clearly not level, and crop circles are all about good geometry. And these are not good geometry. There. That's about the best we can do. Then we have to attach them to the roundabout in a beautiful looking way. Well, it's not perfectly geometric, but it's a starting point. We definitely have something going on here. It looks a little medical, but I think we're good. As for the actual placement of buildings, so here's the plan. Remove these, make this longer. I think, to make this that size. This is the distance between the concentric circles, because that's what crop circles are about. And then we just add more rings. This is already looking very crop circle-y. Now we just have to hope we make money. I forgot to mention at the start, this is actually in hard mode, so things won't be as easy as they normally would be. We also need to add more things to our crop circle. It's going to be a bit tricky. Let's just do a little bit of zoning and then add a few more things. I'm sure this zoning is perfect. We need to do some utilities and stuff now. We need to worry about water and stuff. Water. I think water on this map is actually a problem. It's like all the way over here, so thinking. Gonna have to use a water tower for now. And what we're going to do with the water tower, I forget. Do the water towers require power? I think they do, don't they? That never made sense to me, but I think they do. So what I'm going to do is find a great place for a wind turbine, which is basically anywhere on this map as it seems. Most of it is grey. Some of it is slightly better. So let's just kind of place it, yeah, near the coast. That works. Bang that down there. Get a water tower next to it. Oh. Get a water tower next to it. Ding, and then get a, what are these things called again? I can't remember. Let's get a water drain pipe, just kind of stick it amongst these rocks, ruin that natural beauty of the place, connect it up to the water tower, get water for the whole city. I'm not going to make too much effort to make the pipes symmetrical because you don't see them. What's the point? We will, however, need power lines. Power lines to here, and power lines all the way over to here variously. Right. Simulation, activate. And let's see if we can make money. Okay, we're still at quite a significant loss. Probably need to expand out the circle a bit before it gets too bad. Let's do that. I honestly have no idea if this is a good idea, but right now I'm impressed with how not awful this looks. This looks much better than the blocky mess I would usually end up with. We do need to give them water. Well, we don't have to actually, but you know, I'm a nice mayor. I'm a merciful mayor. I will give my citizens water. And also, I need to finish these concentric circles. But we must wait for that. I'm thinking one giant... Oh, this guy needs power. That is because we need to build this slightly closer. And hopefully this guy will get power. I hope that a giant single circle can work to a point. Eventually, we will need separate circles. For now, we will have the enormous circle. One thing I do need to do, I need to make branches on the roads that go out through the circle. There's a few options there. What I think is a good idea, although is almost certainly a terrible idea, is to make a circle within a circle out of them. This is almost certainly going to end in absolute tears. Because what I need to make needs to be quite huge. So, for example, what I would intend to do... I mean, there's a variety of things in the way, but what I would intend to do is essentially that. And have it go all the way around. And then come back in on itself. That's going to end in tears. First of all, because I'm not able to complete the whole circle, for reasons. But also, it's going to be impossible for me to get it looking good as it goes. It's going to be a lot of guesswork, so it is going to look like an absolute mess. See, from here, I don't think it's actually possible for me to do this in a way that doesn't look awful. Alternatively, straight roads. Just branching out in this sort of vague direction. Ideally, at 90 degrees to the road over here, which is not that difficult to do. It won't be at 90 degrees to that road apparently, but that's fine. I think we will go with this for now. We might replace them later at a later stage with something a bit fancier. I hope those are vaguely lined up. They look pretty damn lined up. And then we'll just extend these out. This is how the traffic management is going to work in this amazingly designed by a genius city. We need to redo the rezoning. With appropriate zoning done, everyone's complaining there's no power because I've accidentally disconnected the power. I shall fix that. And there's water for all. Huzzah. Water for all in the modern day 2017. I think this is already taking shape. This is already looking about as good as it could be expected. Now, one thing I want to do eventually is hide the highway. Unfortunately, since we're using the unlocks, well, I guess it's not unfortunate. Since we're using the unlocks, the highway is unlocked, oops, much later on. When are highways unlocked? Here. We get all the roads at a busy town at 4,000 pop. So we need to build up to that as quickly as possible. There's a lot of demand for industrial, so let's just have an amazingly booming industrial section. I'm still not in the black, but it's getting there. It's very close to actually not losing money. And remember, this is on hard, so you make a lot less money, essentially. But now, we are making money very slowly, very gradually. And the population is going up pretty quickly. We're about to hit a little hamlet. Beautiful. Boom. There it is. A little hamlet. We now have difficulties because now the expensive buildings come in. The medical centers, the elementary schools, and then the next one we get like police and stuff. We will need these, and the circular design, I think, will allow us to distribute them very easily and quite evenly. Unfortunately, they are expensive, and on hard mode, you must be very careful with how you spend money. The landfill site is the first thing we need to get. So I guess we're just going to do that. I forget how much these things cost. 200 a week. I'm currently making 300 a week, so yeah, we'll get one of those. It only costs 5,000 to plop down. We'll plop it down right on the edge of the commercial center. We have run out of power. We need to get another wind turbine. These are very efficient here, making 8 megawatts continuously, essentially. No doubt we're going to have water issues at some point. The problem is, we can't really put the water thing here because, of course, we're polluting the water here. So we can't really put the water pump here because that will just end in tears. In fact, it looks like I've put this in the wrong place. It looks like the water is slowly creeping to the left. So if I was to put the water pump over here, yeah, there's no real water flow. That's the problem. There is no real water flow here. It just kind of stays there and builds up. So, yeah, I'm not really certain how we're going to deal with that. There's demand for people to live around here. Sure. Let's expand the circle one more time. Now, I have to be careful when I expand this one because this big thing is in the way. So we have to ensure that wherever we expand it to, we can fit everything in and everything behind it. So we'll have to expand this out maybe extra far on this occasion, or maybe not. We'll see. I think that looks pretty good. Looks fairly good. One mistake I have made is every time I extend these edge roads, we just delete power lines. That's a bit of a problem. We want to make sure that these stay at 90 degrees. I didn't actually check this one, so I need to just delete it and do it again. Because we want to try and keep this place looking as sharp as possible. There we go. That looks pretty good. Looking pretty snazzy. Let's expand the zoning. I must admit I never think about it, but I just realized that usually when I start a city, I always put the residential on the right of the screen. So now it's wrong. But now it's correct. Wow, the reflection of the sun in those wet roads is pretty intense. I guess it's kind of good. Not sure. Yeah, I wonder if anyone else does that, where they always start with one thing on the right. Another problem we're going to suffer as we make this this ring bigger, the amazing crop circle of the city bigger, is as the ring gets bigger, it's going to get more and more expensive to build the roads to make the circle. Ah, we ran out of power, but it's okay. It just reconnected. There we go by itself. Perfect. Have to consider putting a medical center down. They're expensive to build. 12 grand. 12.5 grand. And then expensive to run. I couldn't afford it to run it. 500 a week. We're barely making 100 a week. Got to expand that industrial section. Got to make sure we make lots and lots of money on taxes. Get all the taxes. I'm so glad this is actually working. And it actually looks pretty good. I don't think it is entirely even. Like, I'm fairly sure that really big circle so far is not very equidistant. Can we actually measure that using a road? So that's 18 units at... Oh, wait, that isn't very even. That needs to be measured using 90-degree joints. So at that point, it's 17. What is it at this point? Using a 90-degree joint. Yeah, look, at this point, it's 15. So it's missing a whole 2 units. So it actually gets bigger as it goes this way. Well, it's good enough, I think. I can sort of tell, just visually looking at that there's something not right about it. But it's hard to notice, so I think already this city is a winner. And you know what we're going to do next? When we can, we're going to buy this section and get building that circle out backwards, finish off these rings. Although I can't finish them properly until I'm able to replace the highway and bury the highway underground. And yes, we will have this underground, and yes, it will pop out here to the roundabout in the center. Everything shall feed from the center outwards. This is going to be nuts, and we will have to build roads that go out this way as well. This is going to be fantastic when we can get that far. We've only gone and done it. Congratulations, Worthy Village. We now have access to a new area, which we will buy. We're going to buy, well, we know exactly which one we're going to buy. And we've got some other things. Oh, fire, police. Oh, that's a problem because that's going to be even more expensive, but never mind. Never mind. Oh, also we can do smoke detector distribution, which I was never sure how this actually reduces fires. Because surely if a smoke detector is going off, it's kind of already too late, or you've burnt some toast. Oh well. Off we go. You can't really see what's going on because it's so damn dark. I really should install a mod or something that makes nights less dark. So, we have to buy this area up here. We are buying this one first so we can try and complete our circles as best we can. Done. Excellent. That costs 5,000. Not to worry. We're currently making 1,000 money every week, which is just the best at this point. We could actually afford to put down a new service. Never sure which service is the one we should go for. Fire is pretty important because people get kind of, you know, cheesed off with you if you don't fix this. We need to have it. We need to get the right distance away from this middle bit here. What we might do is cheat a little bit here. Destroy everything that's here. Put the fire in. Put the fire service in so it fits perfectly. There we go. And that gives pretty much citywide coverage from that point. So that is great. Go away, silly bird. Right, we've got the fire service up. Our money's going to be going down. Yep, the money's going down. It'll balance out after a while. How much is the fire service every week? 700 a week. So we're going to lose most of that money that we were making on putting out fires. But that's fine. We can deal with that. We need to expand the territory, as it seems, because most of the areas have now been built on. So we have to do another circle. Actually, no, we should finish off these circles first. Well, let's finish them off as best we can. So let's do that. As it turns out, there are still some logistical problems with finishing these circles. Mainly, the highway's in the way. Are we surprised? Well, we've definitely got more space now. Absolutely got more space. That's what kind of, well, not doubled it, but increased it by a good third. Probably quite a lot more. And yes, I am going to put some residential in the noisy zone. Just deal with it for now, okay? It does mean the industrial areas can expand enormously. Apparently there's quite a lot of demand right now for that, so that's a good thing. Nothing but. Gotta make sure there's water all the way out there. Out in the sticks, out in the middle of nowhere. People demand their water. Also, they're saying that they're out of power, which might be true. Turns out we've run out of power. Do we want to get a coal power plant? We can't afford a coal power plant. We've spent all our money on roads. We have money coming in, but we need to build this now, otherwise it'll annoy people. Can we get a loan? We can take a big loan if we want. Let's take a small loan for now. Just so we can get... We still can't get the coal power plant. Damn it. It costs slightly more than we can get. Does it actually save money, though? This costs 100 a week. This costs 700 a week. That puts 40 megawatts. That puts 0 to 8. For us, it's 8. I don't think that's worth it. Because that's way more than... Actually, no, I guess that's not... Yeah, it's not worth it. We're going to go with these. These work. I mean, it's annoying that I have to keep building them, but it works well enough. How far away from our intended target are we? I don't want bicycle paths. I want Boomtown, don't I? Is Boomtown what I want? No, Boomtown's actually still not what I want, is it? It's the one beyond Boomtown. It's Busy Town. That's what I need. Get those highway roads. I mean, I can just delete these now and replace them with one-way roads. That works, I suppose. They're slower. People will be angrier at me for making them go slower on roads. I could always upgrade them again later. I'm thinking it's not worth it for the moment. We'll just have to deal with a slightly ugly city as it grows.